Your client has sticker shock. What do? Do you stay? Do you play ball? Do you walk away? Stay tuned. We're going to talk it all through. Hi, I'm Sandra Funk, interior design entrepreneur turned business strategist. You can find me helping designers confidently run their businesses and stand in their space. I created Design Zips to give you access to my proven methods so you can transform your business too. If you're looking to take control over your business for a life full of balance, abundance, and joy, you've come to the right place. So we have a question from a designer. When the client gets sticker shock, do you ever consider negotiating your fees or do you just walk away? That question is juicy. We are going to have to dig in. Let's go. I never consider negotiating my fees anymore. I spent the beginning of my career being Captain Negotiable, like everything always completely wishy-washy to the point of making myself straight crazy, and also not advocating for my profitability, right? As a business owner, to always be able to squish and move and reduce is taking money out of your pocket time and time again. So what I do now is I figure out exactly what it's going to take for my firm to do the project profitably to the level that I require to have a healthy business, and I stand in my space. I do not waver. I do not charge $1 more because it would give me the ability to waver, and it would open the door to me feeling like maybe I'm taking advantage or I'm gouging them or I'm charging too much. I do not charge $1 more than I need to be a profitable, healthy business. And I would never take $1 less, because then I am cutting into my ability to take care of my team in a meaningful way. And if I'm going to be away from my family working like I do, I am not going to do it for pennies on the dollar, right? If I'm going to be away from my children and my husband and my family, then it is going to be meaningful work and meaningful money that I bring in to our family. That's like mic drop, done. But let's get into this, or do you just walk away? Why would I walk away? I am going to dig in and explain exactly why I bring so much value to every project that I get involved in. You guys, a big way that I do this is through my potential client presentation. So it is not, hi, nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, I know I love design. Isn't it so fun? It's amazing. Great. That's going to be $15,000. Smile. That is not how this goes down. It is a presentation that walks you through step by step what it's going to be like to work with my firm, demonstrating my expertise, demonstrating my process, demonstrating my years and years in this industry, knowing exactly what I'm talking about, really explaining to that client how I'm going to take their dreams and hopes and I'm going to turn it into a completely articulated, beautiful home that reflects who they are. And I do this through a presentation that walks them through step by step by step. There is no question of the value that I bring to a project at the end of the potential client process. And that's how I see it. It's a process. I am very intentional with what happens first, second, how I say things, the level of detail that I take it to. It's all intentional to make sure that I am only working with clients that are in alignment with how I run my business and in alignment with the value that I deserve. Make sense? Awesome. Let's have a drink to that. Okay, little follow-up. Do you ever talk to them about how many hours it takes to design the project if they object to the amount of money? No, I never reduce my value to the hours that it takes me to do something or an hourly rate. Let's go like way back, okay? Your first job, you made XYZ an hour, yeah? Okay, when you were coming up through the world and you were a working man, a working woman, a working human, you exchanged time for money. Then I personally worked in a career before interior design where I was working as a management consultant. And I did not have an hourly job anymore. I had a salary and a position. And my job was to get the work done, right? And it wasn't tied to the amount of hours that I spent doing it. It was tied to my intelligence, my abilities, my training, my education, all of it, right? It was no longer exchanging hours for money because I had I'd gotten my college degree, I'd gotten this great job. It was a salaried position. So, why do design entrepreneurs put themselves back into an hourly worker's world where they exchange time for money? It doesn't make sense to me. It never has. So, I charge flat fees where I am no longer tied. I am no longer tied to exchanging dollars for money. Sorry, all of that was ridiculous. Okay. I no longer tie myself to hours for money, right? Also, think about it. As you move further and further in your career, you become more and more efficient naturally, right? You don't have to go out and interview 5 painters, try them out on projects in your own home, determine the best painter, and then forge a relationship. That has been done years and years ago. Now you speed dial your painter and you grab a quote from them, lickety split, let's go. That is one teeny tiny example. Now apply that to every single vendor and trade. How a sofa sits, how wallpaper gets installed, what is the right distance between each tile that is laid. Like, our industry is so detailed and nuanced. And as we progress year from year from year, we become more and more and more efficient, right? We lay down standards. We have our Rolodex of vendors and trades that we work with repeatedly. We have quality standards that we know to be true. We have deep understanding of plumbing and tile and wallpaper and upholstery. And it just keeps going, you guys. So please do not keep making less money because you become more and more efficient and you've tied your self-worth to the hours that it takes you to do something. It's just a cuckoo crazy way. I don't know who started it. I'm mad at them. I don't know. I don't like it. Cheers. All right, more questions coming in on this. Do you have a process for qualifying leads or discussing budget expectations up front before you invest time in them? Absolutely. So, okay, when it comes to a client being sticker shocked, I really try to avoid that all the way back in the beginning, right? So I use an initial call template so that anyone who reaches out to my firm to work with us is going to go through this same series of questions. We're going to start to get an understanding of who they are, what their project needs are, where do they live, what is the size of their job, what are they looking to do, all of that, right? Then we're going to do our research. We're going to make sure that we understand the value of the property. We're going to put the project address into the internet and we're going to do some research. We might drive by. We understand what neighborhood it's in. Is it a neighborhood that we service? Is it a neighborhood that we want our next job in? And then we're really going to do our gut checks. Do we like these people? Are they kind humans? Because for me, kind is number one. We do not work with not nice people. It's just not worth it. Life is too short for that. And then we also make sure that we have language in our vetting process that explains to that client approximately what our projects look like. So our typical project is, a minimum of 3 rooms and in the mid 6 figures. For instance, as a word, like that might be, we only do whole home projects and they start at the $1 million mark. Whatever it is for you, might be, I only do complete rooms and they start at the $50,000 mark. You pick your threshold, but it's nice to have a sentence built in to your vetting process where you give them an example of your minimum project size and also your average budget, like where that falls approximately. That's huge. What I don't do is ask a potential client for a budget. I know from talking to designers year after year after year that they have a hard time setting a flat fee or setting a budget for a project, right? So think about it. If designers who do projects year after year, over and over again, have a hard time knowing what that budget should be, how in the world could that potential client know if they're doing one project for the first time ever? That's crazy. insane. You guys really think about it. Why do we ask our clients who are not in this industry, who do not do this over and over again, for the budget? We know that they are going to pull a number straight out of the sky, and it probably has nothing to do with reality or what they can afford. So please step back from that. How much are you planning to spend on this project? And instead start talking about your minimums and your average project budgets that go in. Okay. Be the expert, change the game. Yes? Cheers. So you've landed that project and it's going amazing, and now they want more work from you. Is it good? Is it bad? It's scope creep, and it's amazing. Check out this next episode to see why it's so good.